My career is too easy, so instead I am player locking in the LeBron era using sliders way harder than Hall of Fame. But on top of that, viewers have added their MyPlayers into the league with me, making winning on here twice as hard as it already is. And this series does not end until I'm able to win Finals MVP, regardless of how many full seasons it takes for me to win. Welcome to Extreme Hall of Fame. But before I can even do that, I have to get drafted, and this 2011 draft class is insane. On top of big names like Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, Klay Thompson, and Kawhi Leonard who are already in this draft class, there are 28 additional viewers who are joining them, and they are completely shifting the way the draft class looks. These guys are so dominant as a rookie that 7 viewers are ranked higher than all the real players in the draft. But the top 3 in this class was terrifying. Considered the best player in the draft was net worth. He was 6'6", 215 pounds and had shades of 2003 Kobe. The scariest part was that he was already an 85 overall. Number 2 was King, the exact same build with shades of 03 Kobe but was coming in as an 82 overall. And the third best was the most surprising of all. Standing at only 6 feet tall, Dally Boy had shades of 2026 Steph Curry. So even though he was small, he was still deadly. And if you scroll all the way down the list of prospects to the 54th spot, you see my guy. Jay Jeffries coming out of Kentucky with the shades of Damian Lillard. Y'all are not ready. And if my man can get drafted, oh, it's up. Point guard, primary, shooting guard, secondary. This does not look good right now, but give it some time. He'll be there. We already know it's going to be a project for my guy. How big of a project? We'll find out together, but this is who we're rocking with. Obviously no ceiling, no floor, and a whole lot of weaknesses, but that's the way it usually goes. But 2 out of the 3 got me going in the second round, so that's good. And going into this first draft, we already had 2 expansion teams coming to the league. The first one didn't even have their own jerseys or logo, so I had to at least change it to the Turkish Airlines to tell it apart from the Cavaliers. And the second team was the Columbus Pandas. But now, simming the rest of the season and simming the playoffs, we already see OKC is in the dominant start and LeBron is looking like a fraud. But now that takes us straight to the draft. And this draft ends up being extremely unpredictable. 7-foot center Greed with shades of Wemby ends up going first. HBA shades of SGA goes second, and a big man with shades of 1994 Hakeem ends up going number 3 to the Wizards. But the craziest thing is what the Bobcats do with their newly drafted first pick rookie. No! Greed and Boris Diaw are headed to Cleveland for the 14th pick and Gibson. What are... Bro, what is the Bobcats doing? And as the draft goes on, it gets more and more outrageous. Number 1 prospect net worth drops all the way to 11 and goes to the Nets. And King, who was ranked 2nd, ends up dropping all the way to the 22nd pick. But as more and more viewers fall below their rank and real players drop more than even I expected, I started to get worried. Even though I assumed I was gonna go in the late 2nd round of the draft, was there a real chance that no team was gonna pick me up? Bertans. Okay, he's like the worst real person. I have to get picked. Mavericks. Kuzma. Kuzma goes to the Mavs. Magic. John Lear. Bro, come on. 2 more spots. Justin Harper. Pistons. Shelvin Mack. All right, Cleveland, please, Cleveland. Cleveland, this is for you. This is for me, actually. Cleveland. Tyler Honeycutt. This is my life now. And just like that, Jay went undrafted. And the struggle started before I even got on a team. And now with no team, no future, and no hoes, the only thing I could do next was sim to the beginning of the season and pray that some team picked me up. And to my surprise, that actually happened. While scrolling through the transactions that happened in the offseason, we actually got picked up by the Pistons. But of course, there's a catch. Okay, I'm on a 2-way contract. And y'all know how that works. I have until February, and if the team wants to cut me, then they cut me. And based off just my grade for each stat, I would cut meat too. So yeah, it's not looking so good. But regardless of the two-way contract, we finally had a team. But looking at this roster, it probably wasn't the best. At point guard, we had 84 overall Rodney Stuckey, who was going to be my biggest rival getting to this starting spot. And he was also the highest overall on this team. Then we had Rip Hamilton, who was solid. Charlie Villanueva, who could help stretch the floor. Our big man Greg Monroe, who was the only center on this team. And then our small forward League Bound, or LB, who has shades of 2017 LeBron and somehow fell all the way to the 17th pick. But it was clear this guy was going to be the future of this team. And at the end of the rotation, it was me, Jay Jeffries, who coach has set as a reserve, but thankfully I get to give myself at least 4 minutes to actually step on the court. But even though we had that contract getting us into the league, since it was a two-way contract, that meant all we had was until February 4th if we wanted to stay on this team. If the Pistons decide to cut me, I would have to spend the rest of the season in the G League, taking us even further away from our goal of winning Finals MVP. But before we can even get to that, we had to show coach we can play. And in our first game against the stacked Celtics team, that's exactly what I planned to do. But coach had his own plan. We got this. Our first career game. All right, coach, I'm ready. I'm ready, coach. Okay. No first half, no problem. I'm a second half player anyway. And we're winning. Of course I'm gonna play. Watch. All right, here we go. I think my ankle was bothering me. I think my ankle was tweaking. Thanks, coach. Thanks for looking out for me. And coach decided he was gonna keep looking out for me, as our game against the Magic was the exact same thing. I'm ready, coach. Hey, I'm ready. Go home in your jersey. Don't even shower. Yo, y'all talking crazy. Our game against the Hornets was the same thing. Best water boy in the nation. I'm not a water boy. And I was starting to think I was never going to touch the court. And then it all started to make sense. Oh, that's why. We got a half-a-star coach. He doesn't know what he's doing. So at this point, I was praying that we can get some type of blowout so I can get my little 4 minutes. And then we ran into the Suns, who had Kawhi. Drafted number 10, he came to a Suns team that has no one else. So as a rookie, he's the only one that can do anything. So this was my best chance to actually get some playing time. But as the game went on and there was another first half I didn't play in, I started to get worried. Where am I? Look, here we go. Y'all good? You need minutes? You need something? You need to sit down? Just sit down for a little bit. Rip, have a seat. You keep sitting. Oh, you definitely sit down, Stuckey. What's good, Greg? I ain't taking your spot. But then a miracle happened. This is it. It has to be it. We're up, about to be 20. Yes! But even though I finally get to step on the court, there's one more big limitation I have to worry about. My power and influence on and off the court is decided by my overall. And since I'm a 60 going into this, I can't call plays, request trades, and I have to start out with bare minimum minutes. But now that I was finally able to play a game, I had 2 goals: play good defense and try to get at least 1 bucket. And that was harder than I thought it was gonna be. Look, clamps, I'm ready, coach, you see? I'm not gonna let you down. I'm not gonna let you down, coach. Go through. 3 ball, bang. Okay, Ben. Let me see that rock a little bit. Chalmers, you not scoring. My life is on the line, buddy. Is this team really Kawhi's team already? And he's killing us. Is this okay, coach? It slipped. I'm gonna get it back. Cookies! Fast break. Rules don't apply. Dudley with the assist. Come on. You need some help? Oh, he passed it to me. I just got to stat collect a little bit. Wait, why am I guarding Kawhi? It's all right. I got him. Yeah. Boyd. Who is Boyd? No way. What do you mean I suck? Kawhi's not even scoring for real. Look. Coach brought me back in. Coach believes in me. He sees something in me. I get to cook. Yo. Oh. We're up 40. I can't get a bucket. I gotta end with at least one basket. 17 seconds. Get a steal. I'm going on the fast break. I'm gone. Get it. Look at me. He passed it. Green. I got one. First career basket in the last 5 seconds of a 40 piece, but we got it though. All I need is a sign. I can do it. But my biggest question is, why is this Pistons team so good? And this team continues to be good as I start getting my DNPs again, and we get one of the craziest wins of the season. Going up against the Miami Heat, it's not just LeBron, D-Wade, and Bosh anymore. They ended up getting Kemba Walker and signed Yao Ming in free agency, making this team even crazier than they already were. Yo, Kemba on this Miami team is crazy. They got Yao Ming. We should be down 50 by the 6-minute mark in the first. Yeah. This is good. This is very good. Oh no, I'm never touching this court again, bro. It is over for me. How are we beating these teams? And as good as it was that we were winning, I didn't have time to not play. We're getting closer and closer to the day that my two-way contract is up, and I still only played one game, so I had to take matters into my own hands. With the minutes I was guaranteed to play, I could at least go into the rotation timeline. So if coach didn't want to play me the minutes that were set in the gameplay screen, I can at least guarantee the minutes I'm gonna get through the rotation timeline. And that finally gave me a chance to ball out. And the first team I get to test this out on is the Knicks. They aren't that good of a team, but they do have a viewer that's already starting and averaging 20 points. Big Gucci has shades of Allen Iverson and is only 6'3", but he could definitely get a bucket. So being able to stop him is the best way we're gonna get wins. But my biggest concern is trying to get points, when the only time I can actually score for myself is if coach calls out a play for me specifically. So it was back to just playing defense and working with what I got. I'm ready, we're back. Felton? Oh, you ain't got that gut on you yet. Skinny Felton. Oh, pick and roll for me? Coach! He's not passing it to, Coach, he's not passing it to me. Coach! Wow, he just ignored me. And Gucci slams it. But shout out to coach for actually giving me plays. But let's see if we can get it back on the other end. What's Gucci got going on? A floater, okay. Pick and roll, okay, here we go. Pick and roll, coach's orders, not my own. Oh, good screen. Let's try that again. Coach, can I don't. My bad, coach, my bad. I'm gonna get it back. And coach is really letting me run the offense. Pick and roll again, come on. Wait, what? Am I missing something? No, I'm not. That was a pass. Gotta finish that. Gucci. Yo, Gucci's killing them right now. Oh, coach making a substitution. Hopefully it's not for me. Oh, Gordon. He floppy. What did I just say? They ran floppy for him. That's what I meant. Rebound. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. I'm gone. I'm cutting. Hey! Big dunk, baby. Brick hunter. Two-way accountant. 3-level janitor. But we won though. I definitely am a big part of that reason why. Gucci 27, 5, 5, 4, 1, 10 for 28. This man shot 28 times. League bound 31, 12, and 10. 10 minutes, 2 points, 3 rebounds, an assist. I got fouled on 4 of those shots, so we're not even gonna worry about that. But that's decent. After finishing my second game and finally getting some reliable playing time, things started to get weird. We immediately fell off a cliff and went on an 8-game losing streak. But then out of nowhere, a switch flipped. We went from losing 8 straight to winning 8 straight, making me even more confused than I already am about this mid Pistons team. But here was the biggest issue, my stats. Even with the team winning games, I was averaging 1.5 points and 1 rebound a game. At this rate, there was zero chance the front office would bring me back. And with the clock ticking, I had to put some numbers on the board fast. But before I stepped on the court again, I realized I had about 20 games worth of XP saved up, and it was time for an upgrade. I dumped all of it straight into pass accuracy, because with my passing in the 50s, every pass I threw looked like it was moving in slow motion. But I still needed to score, and I think my best bet was going to be against the Warriors. They had a viewer-created center named Josh who had shades of 1992 Hakeem, so driving into the paint was a death wish. But my goal was to shut down Steph and turn my defense into offense and try to score as many points as possible. And with Curry not having great defense, he might be the best person I could be attacking on offense, because things are getting desperate. And with the few minutes coach gave me, I went straight to work, cutting to the basket to get an easy bucket, running a pick and roll that left me wide open, and then taking it coast to coast on Josh for the tough reverse layup, giving me a new career high of 6 points in just 4 minutes of playing time. But it didn't do much for the win, since we lost by 28 points. But even with the loss, and even with my stats not looking pretty, there was a bigger problem around the league. The Miami Heat already had a terrifying super team with LeBron, D-Wade, Bosh, Kemba, and Yao, but it could possibly get much worse. They somehow got a pick swap with the Cavs. And because the Cavs are not playing good this season, the Heat have a chance to get a top 5 draft pick, meaning they could possibly pick up Anthony Davis or Damian Lillard to a team that already has LeBron. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, greed demands a trade. In this series, viewers actually have the power to control the fate of their player, meaning the first overall pick in the draft just forced his way out of Cleveland, sending him to Utah for Foolish and Paul Millsap, which also means the Cavs have a very good chance of being even worse than they already are, and that is not looking good for anyone. But with the rest of the league dealing with blockbuster trades and super teams, I couldn't even afford to look past February 1st. This was the final deciding game of my 2-way contract. My stats were looking terrible, and coach was barely playing me 4 minutes a night. My only hope of staying with this team for the rest of the season was to step on that court and do absolutely everything right. And the Raptors were going to make that very difficult. They had a 22-22 record, but they were definitely a threat. They had DeMar DeRozan plus 2 dangerous viewer builds, ETC, who had shades of 2010 Kevin Durant, and Moses, an SGA build coming right off the bench. The pressure was at an all-time high.
I don't know what I gotta do, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. 50 points, 10 points, 50 points, 10 assists. This is the game. Watch. This decides whether I get sent to the G League for the rest of the season, or if I'm on the roster for the rest of the season. Starting now, coach. Lock in on what I do as of now. Hit the screen. That's the first illegal screen all season, Max. Yeah! Green. Big lay, coach. Big lay. I got more of those on the way. Oh, great screen. Oh, they gonna cut me. ETC, what you got? A turnover. He with us. Dudley. No, I got this. I gotta prove myself. I gotta prove myself.
Ball game.
I think I did enough. That score proves that I'm not the problem. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm not the solution either. Yet. Look. You can't blame me for the 20 piece either. League bound 22-11-7. What'd I do? Don't worry about what I did. I did enough. We ain't even gotta look at it.
And in the most important game of my career so far, I put up a stinker. Scoring only 1 basket, this was not the showing I wanted to give. So everything that happens next is on the front office.
But let's see their decision. I'm going to the G League. I did not see this coming. This is a surprise to everyone. This is dumb. Out the line. Look, point guard injured. They couldn't just sign me for a little bit. They couldn't have a little replacement for this dude with his torn MCL.
And just like that, my time was up. The contract expired and the front office sent me packing to the G League. And since I don't play G League games in this challenge, all I could do was simulate the rest of the season and watch my rookie year fade away. And since the Pistons decided not to keep the GOAT, they completely collapsed, finishing 11th and missing the playoffs. Meanwhile, teams in the West were cooking. Russell Westbrook went back-to-back winning MVP and carrying OKC to another championship. And what's even crazier is Greed, who forced his way off of his own team, ended up winning Rookie of the Year and making All-NBA first team. And then we head to the offseason to one of the craziest lotteries I've ever seen. The Turkish airline team rebranded again to the St. Louis Dolphins, and they had the absolute worst record in the league, winning only 17 games. But when it came to the actual lottery, the Bobcats came in and stole the #1 pick, with only a 13% odds of doing it. But for some reason, the pick swap that the Miami Heat had with the Cavs didn't actually go through. So the Cavs got to keep their pick, and Miami doesn't get more overpowered than they already are. But then it came down to the actual draft. The Bobcats obviously took Anthony Davis at #1, which gives the Bobcats one of the most stacked front courts in the league, with Anthony Davis at the 4 and a viewer, Starrite, who has shades of Shaquille O'Neal at the 5. The second pick from the Hornets went to Taz, who has shades of James Harden. And then came the worst thing I've ever seen in my life with the expansion teams. With the third pick, the Dolphins ended up drafting Harrison Barnes, but immediately after, the Pandas ended up trading for him. Both terrible expansion teams waste their pick fighting over Barnes in a draft class full of generational talent. But then the Dolphins end up using their pick to get N. Worthy, who has shades of Ben Wallace. And while those teams were selling, other teams were loading up. The Rockets stole Draymond Green and Chris Middleton, so Chris Paul and King had some help. Bradley Beal ended up going to the Raptors, the Cavs ended up getting Damian Lillard, and Andre Drummond teamed up with Kevin Love on the Timberwolves. And the Pistons ended up using the 11th pick to draft Myers Leonard, so Greg Monroe wasn't the only center over there. So the league is getting stronger, new super teams are forming, and the rookies are taking over. And with the draft over, my contract officially expired. And because I was on a 2-way contract, the Pistons actually had the option to re-sign me for another season. But after watching me rot away in the G League, they decided to let me walk.
I didn't even like Detroit anyway. Who wants to go to Detroit? I walked in my apartment, closed the door, went to go lay down real quick, got up, somebody stole my door. Why would I want to be in Detroit? I can't have a door. I'm gone. Neighbor got the porch stolen the other week. The whole porch. It was made of cement, not wood. Get me out of here.
So now I'm dumped straight into the free agency pool, which puts over 100 players over me. So now I'm a 60 overall, with a bad season and almost zero value to my name. If a team doesn't take a massive gamble on me right now, this Hall of Fame journey is over before it even began. And if you want to have your MyPlayer in the next draft class, make sure you hit the link in the description.